Hello guys, welcome to a new lecture of RBD. In this lecture, we are going to talk about the moment of inertia due to a uniform ring and uniform disk. Here we have a uniform ring right here, and first of all we have to find out the moment of inertia of this ring from a axis, and this axis is passing through its center and it is perpendicular to the plane of the ring. Now let's find out. So here let's just choose any element on the perimeter of the ring. Let's say it has some mass dm. Now this dm is present at a distance r from the center, right? So here let's say this dm has moment of inertia dm into distance from the axis r square. So this integration gives us the entire moment of inertia. So we are choosing an element here. This element's mass is dm, and that dm into r square gives moment of inertia of that element with respect to this axis. So di gives us dm into r square. Now for the total moment of inertia we need to integrate it. So I equals integration of dm into r square. Now here each element is at same distance from the center, right? So each element is at a distance of r. So it doesn't matter how many elements we choose, they are at the same distance. So r is constant here. So r taking out, we are getting integration of dm, and integration of dm gives us the total mass of the ring. So formula for this case is I equals mr square. So this is the moment of inertia of the ring about an axis which is passing through its center and it is perpendicular to the plane. Now how about if the axis is diametrical, means it is passing through the center but it is parallel to the plane instead of perpendicular. That means we are talking about axis which is along the diameter. Now let's find out that one. So our case 2 is axis is any diameter. So we are choosing, see we have a ring here. Now a ring, let's say we see the top view, this is a ring. So it doesn't matter we take this diameter or this diameter. If we take this diameter, then let's say moment of inertia I am writing as id. Then about this diameter also moment of inertia will be id, right? Because from any diameter, if we divide the ring by drawing a diameter, the ring is always equally divided, right? So all the diameters are like symmetrical. So if this ring is like this and we take diameter like this and we rotate it, and similarly we take the same ring but we draw the diameter like this and we rotate it, in both of case moment of inertia should be same because the ring is still symmetrical. The axes are dividing the ring in the same manner in both of the cases. That means the axis, if we choose diametrical axis, in that case moment of inertia in all the cases will be same. So let's say we are choosing one axis like this and another diametrical axis we are choosing, but the second diametrical axis is perpendicular to the first one. Both are in the plane of the ring. That's why they are diametrical axis along the diameters. They are passing through the center along the plane of the ring. So and we are choosing two axes such that they have 90 degree between them. They are perpendicular to each other, and I name them Ix and y. This is x axis, this is y axis. We are naming them as this. So about this x axis, let's say moment of inertia is Ix. Similarly about this y axis, moment of inertia is Iy. Then according to perpendicular axis theorem, we will get Iz equals Ix plus Iy, where Iz must pass through their intersection point and it should be perpendicular to both of the axes, right? So it is like this. This is our Iz, and this Iz must be equal to Ix and Iy summation. This is what gives us, we get this from perpendicular axis theorem, right? Now again, now we just talk about the logic where Ix and Iy, they must be same because both are about the same diametrical axis and the diameter divides the ring in same way in both of the cases. So this Ix and Iy, they must be same. So we are writing Ix plus Iy equals 2Ix. This much equals to Iz. Now Iz value we just found here in this derivation, we got it mr square. So Iz value is mr square. So Ix value will be mr square by 2. So that means moment of inertia of a ring about any diameter, that will be mr square by 2. This is the moment of inertia of ring. Now let's see another case. Here we have an axis which is tangential but it is perpendicular to the plane. Means let's say this axis is here, it is passing through the center and perpendicular to plane. Now we are drawing a tangent parallel to this axis. We are drawing a tangent parallel to this axis. Okay. So this axis is perpendicular to the plane. Means if we see from the top view and the ring is like this, then the axis will be passing through this point and perpendicular to the point like this. Okay. Now in this case, how to find the moment of inertia? Now here the axis is a tangential axis and it is perpendicular to the plane of the ring. Now here we will use parallel axis theorem. I equals ICOM plus MD square. Now ICOM means moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass. In case of this ring, center of mass is the center, right? So let's draw a parallel axis through the center. We are drawing a parallel axis through the center, and about this moment of inertia of the ring is mr square. So ICOM in this case is mr square. Now here ICOM we should choose a axis parallel to our asked axis. Here this axis, about this axis we are asked that to find, you have to find the moment of inertia. Now we are drawing a parallel axis to this one and it should pass through the center of mass. So this is the axis and about this we have moment of inertia as mr square. Now our parallel axis theorem says I equals ICOM plus MD square, right? Here D is the different distance between the two parallel axes. So this is the one axis, this is the other axis, and these two parallel axes has a distance D which is equals to radius. In this case D equals the radius of the ring. So ICOM plus MD square, this gives us mr square plus this m into d square, but d is the distance between the two axes. This is equals to r here, so we put it here. So we get 2 mr square. So if we have a ring and we have axis like this which is perpendicular to the plane but it is tangential, in that case moment of inertia is 2 mr square. Now similarly, if we have a tangent but the tangent is parallel to the diameter, means this tangent is along the plane of the ring. In that case, what will be the moment of inertia? Now again we will use parallel axis theorem. I equals ICOM plus MD square. Now here ICOM is, we need to choose an axis which is passing through the center of mass but parallel to our original asked axis. So this axis is our asked axis, this axis is asked axis, and to this one we are drawing a parallel axis. Now this axis passing through center of mass. About this axis we have already found the moment of inertia is mr square by 2. We just found in the last slide. So here this axis is mr square by 2, the center of mass about this axis. This is mr square by 2. Now the distance, this distance is again r, which is equals to radius. So this is r. So if we put ICOM plus MD square, then we get mr square by 2 plus mr square, which is 3 mr square by 2. This is moment of inertia about this axis. This is our 3 mr square by 2. So all the ring cases are done. Let's go to disk cases. So here we need to find the moment of inertia of a disk. Now in this case, how to find? First of all, we have an axis which is passing through the center again, but it is perpendicular to the plane. Again, just like the ring case, the first axis we choose is passing through the center and it is perpendicular to the plane of the ring. Let's find I about this point. Now here, as we are given with a uniform disk, that means mass is uniformly distributed, right? So here, if mass is uniformly distributed, let's write the mass density, the surface mass density. Here we will use surface mass density. Now surface mass density is written as sigma. This sigma gives us the surface mass density, and this will be mass by total area. So m by pi r square, we get sigma m by pi r square. So the surface mass density of this disk is m by pi r square. This much we got. Here from the center at a distance r, we are choosing a small element. Now this element will behave as a ring, this element will behave as a ring, right? So we are getting a ring kind of structure like this, a very thin ring, and the axis is like this. In this case, we just found out the moment of inertia formula is mr square. This is the formula for moment of inertia. Now let's say here this ring has a small mass dm. Now we need to find this dm, but for now let's write the moment mass is dm. Then this ring's moment of inertia will be dm into r square, because the axis is passing through its center and it is perpendicular to the plane. So moment of inertia must be dm into r square. So that we have written. See here, moment of inertia of the small ring, it is dm into r square. But we need to find this dm. How to find this dm? So here this element, we have drawn the element separately here. As this element has some thickness, we at a distance r, we choose a element of thickness dr. So this thickness is dr, and its perimeter is 2 pi small r, right? Nothing, it is a very thin ring. Consider it is like a wire. Now we need to find the area of cross section of the wire. So let's cut it from here, and if we stretch it, then the length of the wire will be 2 pi r, right? And the thickness of the wire will be dr, correct or not? Means this is a ring kind of structure. Let's say we cut it from here and we spread it as a straight line. If we spread it as a straight line, then this length, this total length, it will spread like a straight line like this. It will have a length of 2 pi r and it will have a thickness. This thickness is dr. So what is this area? What is this area then? The area is 2 pi r into dr. This is a very small strip, so it can be stretched like a straight line, right? So area, this small area can be written as 2 pi small r into dr. Okay, so our area of this strip became 2 pi small r into dr. This is the small area of this strip. Now mass will be mass per unit area into area of element. This will be giving us the mass. How do we get this? It's like let's say 5 pen are 10 rupees, then 3 pen will cost how much? It is like this, 5 pen will cost 10 rupees, 3 pen will cost how much? You will get 10 by 5 into 3. We will do like this, right? So similarly, this total area has m mass. The total area has m mass. Then this much area has how much mass? So m by total area into area of the element. We are doing like this, just like unitary method. So here area of the unit mass, this will be m by pi r square into area of the element 2 pi r dr. So we got the dm value here. Dm value here, pi and pi got cancelled out. So we got dm is 2m by r square into r dr. This is our dm value. We put this dm here. Okay, now see. So our dm into r square gets this dm value is 2m by r square into r. Here 2m by r square into r dr. So we are getting 2m by r square into r dr. Then r, this value 2m by r square into r into dr. Then we have another r square here, right? This r square here. So total we are getting 2m by r square into r cube. Now this m and this capital R, they are constant. Only the small r is variable here. So we are having an integration of r cube dr, which gives us r to the power 4 by 4. Now by solving it from limit 0 to r, we are getting the value mr square by 2. This is the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis which is passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of the disk. Now let's see another case. Now here we need to find the moment of inertia of the disk about a diametrical axis. Now how to solve this? Exactly just like the ring case, we are choosing two diameters here. Now as the disk is uniform about any diameter, it is disk, so we choose this diameter or this diameter. The distribution of masses are similar about any diameter. So let's say we write this moment of inertia of this axis as ix and moment of inertia about this axis as iy, and these two axes are perpendicular. Here ix and iy, they will be same. Now if we choose this axis as the z axis, and we already know about z axis moment of inertia is mr square by 2, we just derived it in the previous slide, right? So this iz according to our perpendicular axis theorem, this Iz, it must be equals to Ix and Iy summation, right? So we are writing here Iz equals Ix plus Iy. Now again, Ix and Iy are same, both are diametrical axis, so they are same. So we are writing 2Ix and Iz value is mr square by 2. So this gives us Ix equals mr square by 4. So we are getting, in this case, about any diametrical axis, the moment of inertia of a disk is mr square by 4. Now let's look at the second case. Here we are asked that we need to find the moment of inertia of the disk about a tangential axis. Now here the tangential axis is perpendicular to this plane of the disk. It is perpendicular to the plane of the disk here, the axis. Now here, to find the solution, we have to draw a parallel axis passing through the center of mass, so that we can apply parallel axis theorem. Now here we have drawn this axis, and this axis passes through the center of mass. Okay, so here is the center of mass, it passes through the center of mass. So now if we apply I equals ICM plus MD square, this is the perpendicular axis theorem, sorry, this is the parallel axis theorem. Now here let's solve ICOM. ICOM means our axis about this moment of inertia. This is mr square by 2, this we have already calculated. So mr square by 2 plus md square, and d is the distance between the two axes, right? Here the distance is r, so plus mr square. This gives us 3 by 2 mr square. So 3 by 2 mr square is the moment of inertia of the disk about this axis. And how we found out? We found out using parallel axis theorem. Now another case here. Here we need to find the moment of inertia of the same disk, but the axis is like this. It is again tangential axis. This axis is tangential, but this axis is parallel, means along the plane. This is tangential, but along the plane of the disk. So this is along the plane of the disk. This means it must be parallel to a diameter. So here also we will be using parallel axis theorem, and now we need to draw a parallel axis here, but this axis must pass through center of mass. Now if we draw a parallel to this tangent and it passes through center of mass, that means it must be passing through some diameter. So this is a diametrical axis now. Now about a diametrical axis, a disk's moment of inertia is mr square by 4. Mr square by 4 is the moment of inertia about a diametrical axis, correct? So this ICOM here we are getting mr square by 4 plus md square. According to our parallel axis theorem, we are adding md square. Now what is this d here? Again, this d here is r, radius. So md square, instead of d we put r value. So in this case we get the result 5 by 4 mr square. So in this case moment of inertia is 5 by 4 mr square.